Mother speaks. I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Womb, Deep Space, the Moon, Dark Matter.
Hello, Libra Moon sign people. Welcome to your 2019. Happy New Year and new moon in Capricorn. This is a moon that everybody's been talking about. It's going to be a red moon. It's going to be a partial solar eclipse. It's going to be all of that and a bag of chips with Saturn and Jupiter conjunct. Don't you know it's in the South Node? That is the collective unconsciousness. What the collective unconsciousness is willing and ready to release. Now, it may not always seem like that because, of course, Capricorn represents government and authority and all of that stuff. And some people are just not ready for the Aquarian age, are they? They're not ready to express their unique spirituality. But that's why we're here in our small tribe on the Great Mother Speaks channel. Happy to assist you with these readings for this new moon. Now, for you, Libras, it's in your fourth house of home, of security. And as you see here with your cards, in the center is your significator. So we have a new spread that we're working with this year, and I think you're going to like it because opening up here with fourth house energy, of course, if Cancer's in the South Node, well then, if Capricorn's in the South Node, I gave it away, Cancer is in the North. And both the Vedic and Western astrology will be sharing those nodal positions until about March or April when they shift for the Vedic into Gemini, Sagittarius. So, Rhiannon is the focus for you as your significator for this transit that's occurring right now during this new moon. And the significance of it is that it's the true tea for you, Libra moon sign people. It's the story you're telling yourself, and it's the inner work that you need to do. So inner work around issues of self-doubt, specifically as they relate to taking the opinions of others into consideration more than doing your own inner work to know how you really feel about something. Now, of course, here on Great Mother Speaks channel, we know that the Western moon sign is earth-centric, it is solar-oriented, and it is ego-based, therefore it's egocentric. It's based on the material realm of emotions. Emotions is how the ego, it's also ego, I said that right, okay. It's how the ego communicates to the soul. And your Vedic moon sign is how the soul communicates intuition, downloads it to the ego. So with this being a second chakra, we're talking about emotion. We're not talking about your higher mind. And we're also talking about first quarter moon energy, which is about facing challenges. And so you know that this is a challenge for you. You're trying to work it out, but seeking the opinions of others over really doing your inner work is what's coming into focus right now. And with that Saturn conjunct Jupiter and conjunct Pluto in your South Node, you're going to be very aware of that over this new moon. Now, what's coming up here as your shadow, what you may not be aware of, or that you are aware of, some of you, but you would rather others not know, is that things are starting to come together for you, even though you are experiencing this sense of self-doubt. Many times when you are in a place of self-doubt, you know, you get the opinions of other people just to kind of confirm what you already know. But Great Mother is saying that your true confirmation comes from your soul. And that's what you need to be looking for, as we see here with the third eye. Cancer rules, the moon rather rules Cancer. And so looking at that North Node in Cancer as the collective consciousness direction that we're going is relevant for you because of this fourth house energy of this new moon. Things are coming together for you. This is full moon energy, which we will have around the 21st, 22nd, which is a lunar eclipse. So moon energy, very powerful for you this month, Virgo. Great Mother is saying, yes, this is true. Things are coming together for you, and you don't need the opinions of others to know that. But what's bringing this up is that you feel that there's something else you probably need to be doing, and so that's really probably why you're getting the opinions of other people. But you've done all you can do. Again, this is second chakra energy. This is busy energy in the middle of a storm. This deck is based on the 49 scenes of the Wizard of Oz, and this is the Twister Dream. This is a waning gibbous moon, rather, and this comes right after the full moon. So after the full moon, you may have a sense of that you have done all that you can do, especially after you've gotten the opinions of others and you've seen this video with Great Mother confirming for you that things are coming together. It'd be interesting to hear from some of you whether or not that's the opinion that you got from others, that things are coming together for you, or that most people said, oh boy, you know, they played off of this self-doubt. Emotions are very powerful because of that. But you notice here that the second chakra is also in that waning gibbous phase there about you know, what's bringing this up, you know, what incident or what situation brought it up. And maybe you tried to ignore your intuition, and maybe right now some of you are still trying to ignore your intuition, and that's why you're getting the opinions from others. It's a kind of a busybody like energy, like I said, in the middle of the storm. There's this twister dream, and that's what Dorothy was doing. She was being kind of a busybody after her intuition, Toto, symbolized by Toto, told her that it was time to leave the farm. She decided it was time to come back because of what Professor Marvel said, instead of following her intuition. And the Great Mother took her up into a twister and said, no, dear, it is time for you to have the space and the wherewithal and the support that you need to heal your mama drama trauma. And we're going to do that. Let me just, you know, place you in Munchkin land and along your yellow brick road of healing. And so some of you, that may be really what you're dealing with as you're working with these home issues, okay? As you're working with these maternal issues, there's some issues related to your mother that you're asking those aunties, those cousins, those girlfriends, your husband about, that you already know. You already know, and you've been knowing for a long time, and it's time for you to confirm it. This partial solar eclipse is doing that for you. What you are desiring for yourself, Virgo moon sign people, is the time and the space to mother yourself. You're hip. Again, your intuition has told you. Both of your full moon cards here coming up in the next 2 weeks, you have a root chakra and you have a third eye, from the rooter to the tutor, as they say. And so the rooter is saying, root chakra, that Saturn energy, Saturn rules the root chakra, Capricorn and Aquarius. And so this fourth house energy is very, very, very powerful. Saturn is going to help you release issues around you not being able to self-mother, you not being able to take the time and the space that you need to heal. That's what you want. That's the object of your transformation. That's what Pluto is really trying to do there in your fourth house right now during this partial solar eclipse. But with Saturn there, Saturn is standing at the gates of heaven and calculating whether or not the karmic work has been done. And that's why this is your center issue. The self-doubt needs to make way for the faith in your intuition that things are coming together. Now, what's at stake if you do not get your desire fulfilled to self-mother, which is really what you're wanting as the root of all of this, is that your inner wisdom won't be able to come out from this new moon. There's a lot of wisdom being downloaded to you, and this heart chakra, the crossroads between the ego and the soul, is telling us that it's time for it to come through for you. It's time for you to own it and for you to articulate it. The heart chakra rules Taurus and Libra. Okay, so again, the Libra's in the Western, but for you, you know, it would be Virgo for your sidereal for most of you. But we're still looking at this new moon energy, especially for those of you who have Libra in both your Western and in your sidereal. For those that have that Virgo sidereal moon, Of course, that's ruled by Mercury, and that's throat chakra energy that I do not see in any of your cards here. So for those of you who are watching, more than likely you're both in your Western and in your sidereal, because there's an inner wisdom that's coming through. The new moon is the darkest moon, which means it gives us the greatest inner light, which is what partial solar eclipses period are about, is that dark moon covering the sun, which this time would be visible in Asia. Now, without that inner wisdom, without that ability to trust that things are coming together, you're not going to really be able to self-mother, because there are hurdles to self-mothering. That's why people don't do it. It's the conditioning that through mama drama trauma, she never did it. She never thought she was worthy. I don't know how to do it. It's too expensive. It takes too much time. All of these things, these thoughts and these dysfunctional behaviors and ideas that confirm our unworthiness is the practice. But the work to resolving that is going to allow you to learn about the law of mystery and divine order. That's Great Father energy. All the law cards in the deck are yin-yang cards. This is a yang card, and they're all third quarter moon cards. Now, this is the yang card, root chakra. And so you have all this root chakra energy. So this Saturn is really helping you. And so Saturn here again with your yang energy. Yang, of course, is that Martian energy. Okay, and so what you're wanting to do going forward with this has a lot to do with just learning that the universe is conspiring on your behalf, whether it feels and looks like it or not. The five senses are not reliable when it comes to the universal laws. The universal laws can only be activated by a faith in their synthesis and our synthesis with it, that they flow through us, as I'm explaining in this reading. This energy flows through you. It's all in your fourth house right now. It's all going through that fourth dimension of your existence of real estate. You may be moving. This issue for you may have to do with issues around your home, securing your home in some way, redecorating your home, making it new, making your home feel like you're at home, because the law of mystery and divine order is telling us not only that the universe is conspiring on our behalf, but that we also have everything that we need to make new plans, to make new contracts, to make new agreements. A lot of times people get spirituality, confused with all this airy-fairy stuff, because they don't understand that the process is faith and walking it out. Faith and walking it out. Aries in your seventh house of relationship, of contracts, of marriage, is where Mars and Uranus are right now. And so speaking of Martian energy, it's encouraging you to move on past the self-doubt, faith in the synthesis, and move on with your life. Release that third quarter energy. Release that. Okay? That's what you're learning to do during this lunar phase, Libra moon sign people. You're learning to do that in a way that you will be able to have faith and move forward. Reground yourself. This regrounding, this faith in your intuition is going to also help you determine, really how and why this inner work is needed. Why is this inner work needed? It's needed because it's time for you to recognize that whatever feelings of injustice, of unfairness for the journey that you've traveled so far with your mother, with, whatever relationship or contracts that you've already established, it was just a lesson. You haven't been abandoned. You haven't been left to fend for yourself. And that's probably why you've been feeling that the support of others is so needed right now. But what Great Mother is saying is that you already have it within you. Your soul has lived so many lifetimes. It has so much wisdom. It has so much insight to offer and to give you. And by tapping into that, realizing the universe is conspiring on your behalf and acting on that, the thing is, you've already been given this message. That's what I'm getting. You've already been given this message, and that's why you kind of swirling around and kind of like, this busy energy that is not really well focused. But it's coming together. It's coming together. Some stuff has happened to you. Some stuff has happened, and you don't realize what you've gained from those disappointments, from those experiences. But by the next full moon, or this one, I would say for most people it will be by the next full moon, which will be about, the 17th to the 20th of February. You're going to leave all this stuff behind. That's the Pachamama card. That's the material cleansing, the cleansing of the body, the release that allows for the reseeding for the next cycle of your life. Now, this is a waning gibbous moon card that comes after the full moon. And so that's why I'm saying, it will, for most of you, take until that next full moon to kind of get to that point of leaving this situation behind, where you know within yourself that, okay, I'm going to start doing the things that I know I need to do to mother myself. I need to get up, in the morning and take care of myself before I start taking on these phone calls, these emails, my kids. I'm going to have to start an effort of, I want to get up an hour earlier, but let me start with 15 minutes. And let me use those 15 minutes to do a meditation or to make my favorite tea or something to start communicating to my lower self that I am in charge, that the universe is supporting me. Let me start activating that faith to reground myself in a new pattern. You will have like the wherewithal. Sometimes things exist in our mental and our emotional space for a while before they're actually grounded. That's what Great Mother's saying. It'll be grounded for you in about a month or so. Give yourself about a month. Don't, push yourself too much. Because remember, Saturn's in the South Node. And so Saturn, is holding that book at the gates of heaven and saying, okay, have you done your karmic work? And so this is the inner work that Great Mother's saying needs to be done, right? And when you do that, it's going to be released, okay, Akhenaten. And the law of mystery and divine order is going to be activated for you, Libra, Sun, Moon people, okay? It's going to be activated for you. It is. You have regrounding here in your position of when it's occurring. And your likely outcome is awakening as a result of doing this inner work. Pele, gut chakra energy, ruled by Mars, which is squaring with all of this going on in the South Node in Capricorn, and Aries, which is in your 7th house of relationships. So you will have in your gut a true awareness. Crescent, you will be reseeding. That's crescent moon. That's seeding that new root, right? You're going to be doing that, awakening to the reality of who you are. This is when Glenda greets Dorothy when she does arrive from the Twister Dream into Munchkin Land, right? She arrives there and she's jumped from 2nd chakra of desire to 3rd chakra of self-confidence. That's where you are. And she's greeted by Glenda, who asks her, are you a good witch or a bad witch? Are you a good witch or a bad witch? Okay. Are you a good witch or a bad witch? Are you a witch that uses her power against herself and others, or allows others to use their power against you? Or are you a witch that uses your power to support and sustain yourself and others? See, here's the scarecrow there in the middle. Dorothy supported the scarecrow, and he supported her. There in the picture, he's telling her, anywhere you go is fine. It all leads to the same place. And it does. There are many paths to our inner truth. And I hope this one has assisted you today. Thank you so much for watching, sharing, and liking the moon sign people. But above all and most of all, remember, Great Mother loves you, and I do too.
Deep space, the moon, dark matter, the void, the black hole, Hathor, Isis, Diana, Mami Ishtar, Kali, Mammy, and Mother Mary.